So
Cool.
yeah, life unscripted, ladies and gentlemen. That's what we're working with.
Life unscripted, baby. That's what life is
Yes.
about.
Yeah. So today's topic we're looking into right now is called the power of positivity. Positive thinking, discuss the impact of the mindset on success. So we're looking at that. So I'm just going to introduce myself. My name is Shane, and I have a I have a YouTube channel and Instagram called High Top Life, and yeah, this is my friend named Denise. We were trying
Yo.
to I was trying to pronounce his name because it pronounced differently. He's Turkish.
Yeah.
So, yeah, people from the UK have the different names or different pronunciations, but yeah, as time goes by, I think I will get it right on his name. Just keep hearing it all the time.
Yeah. We'll get there. Don't worry.
Yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
think it's different. Different use of the English language is like different dialects.
Yeah.
You know, in the UK, you have Welsh people that speak English. They have a completely different accent. You have Scottish people that speak English but have a different accent, and it's hard for an English guy like myself to understand what they're saying sometimes. And obviously, because I'm half Turkish,
Hmm.
um, yeah, I'm just used to it because I think the UK is very multicultural. But yeah,
I was thinking about like a couple of days ago, like you say you're Turkish. Are you immigrated to the UK or you were born in the UK?
so I was born in the UK. My dad,
Yeah,
his
yeah.
family, they came over shortly just after World War II to the UK, and they settled over here.
Hmm.
And there's a big Turkish community in London specifically as well. Like there's different pockets of London or in any other town as well where you have different nationalities like Polish, African, Jamaican, Eastern Europeans, and Turkish, and yeah, whatnot. You know, there's different cultures. You
It's
know,
mostly is in the U. I've been to the UK like many years ago, but I just want to say like in the UK, is it mostly people from Europe that's immigrated to the UK or
I'd like,
it's
I'd like to say yeah, but then I meet like Asian, like Chinese Asian, Indian Asian, Pakistani Asian. They're
Hmm,
big communities in these outer towns in outside of London as well, like the smaller towns. And then
okay.
you have some Europeans around, like Polish, Ukrainian.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it's a mixture, but there's big Asian communities and big Turkish communities, which really isn't part of Europe that much. So
Hmm.
it's a big diverse mix. You know, one street you could walk down and there could be a big African community there, and then the next street you walk down, there could be a big Asian community of Chinese
Oh,
people, Pakistani or Indian. You know, it's just different. So we just get used to it. You know.
I tell you, if since I'm from New York, man, I tell you, if you walk like a just like a couple blocks, is a different country. There's Jamaicans, there's Asians, there's
Yeah.
Europeans, there's Africans, there's in every direction you go. I
Yeah.
mean, it's the diversity in New York is very rich.
Mm,
So, if you say like, oh, I'm far away from the UK, UK is right down the road
yeah.
because you're not gonna miss anything because in New York you can get whatever food you want, any clothes you want, or whatever. It's really the diversity is pretty rich and pretty big than any other state in America.
Yeah,
So
it's like the way I think of New York is like a bigger version of London. Like it's a
yeah, that's a yeah. I told some friends some of the people that's in Taiwan right now is also teaching that I told them like yeah, it's but I find England and stuff London and everything it's like a higher class than New York because when I look like everybody has the accent because it sounds rich and classy and nice versus New York everybody has that that thugged out accent and Jamaicans and stuff like that we have the lower class so yeah it's fine
I
so
mean, you have to be from London to really see it, but I don't know if you can pick it up in my accent. My accent is classed as common because I don't speak the Queen's English. You know, like if you watch TV and you hear an English person speak, they're like,
mm,
"Oh, cup of tea and crumpets with the Queen." That kind of dialect.
Yeah.
That's more upper class in London. Yeah, definitely. And then there's
Um.
some towns that
mhm.
have that
I have a.
class.
I
Yeah.
used to have a friend who can is English accent. He's Asian, right?
Hmm.
He's from England, and his accent is very
Yeah.
strong, really upper class. And there's other English people that their accent is not that strong. It's
Yeah.
okay, but you can still tell that they're from England.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's nice. So yeah, it was good that we can have that little icebreaker. So we just have to
Yeah.
have a
That's
little
it.
talk. That's fine. So
And
we look at
I was going to
yeah.
just introduce myself really quickly.
Yeah,
Sorry.
go ahead, man. Go ahead, man. I'm trying to. I forgot. I'm hogging the mic. Go ahead.
That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So my name's Dennis. I'm from the UK, and my name is spelt Deniz. It's pronounced Deniz, IZ, Deniz.
Mm,
But because I'm from the UK and it makes it easy for everybody, I just say call me Dennis because it's the Turkish version of Dennis, you know. So just keep it like that. I am mostly found on Instagram. I have a Facebook page, a group, Facebook group called Bring Me Mindfulness. You can find that link on my bio in my Instagram page. But yeah, Instagram is where you'll mainly find me, and it's my full name, Deniz Thomas Ali. And yeah, I'd love to talk about all things positivity, motivation, mindset, routine, anything that's gonna help people have a good day. And yeah, that's me.
mm. So go follow him. Follow him. You learn something.
Hopefully.
So we're looking at the power of positive thinking. That's something that is common, and it's pretty difficult for some people to have positive thinking when it's in different situations, and when they go into problems and stuff like that. It's pretty hard. But I will just talk about this. Like I said, positive thinking. It's a bit of a challenge for me, and it's just sometimes it's easy, sometimes it's not. And you go through different experiences, and when you deal with different problems, you know how to focus your mind on going through that problem. So yeah, so talking to someone really helps. Reading quotes, reading looking at videos and reading motivational speeches, and just talking to someone who's very influential that can actually help you to come out of your problems. Like just for example, like I remember a long time ago before I came to Taiwan. I was really going through some really tough times, just to come to Taiwan. So I had a rough time at my job. So I was working at JFK Airport, and the boss was not giving me any slack. And I never, if I really disliked the boss for some reason, she always, I don't know, for some reason she always had it out for me. But not only just me, but a lot of workers, but me in particular. I don't know why. I don't know. It's maybe because of my attitude, the way I talk, the way I move. I don't know, but so just positive thinking, because I thinking about myself, like, you know what, Shane, just go to work. You need this money, you need to come to Taiwan. You got a lot of things you need to do. And especially around that time was winter. It was super cold around that time. So, and also added that, I had some other personal problems adding on to that. So it's pretty hard, just walking through this type of problems and just dealing with it. So, leaving home, getting on the train, I was living in Brooklyn at that time, and I had to go to JFK Airport. I would think it was like around like 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock, because we're working at the airport. The time shifts are very bad. So I had the early shift, so early morning. So I had to take the train going straight to JFK Airport, and taking the trains in New York at that time. It is not that great. It's not that great. I used to tell my friends around that time, the freaks comes out at night. It's dead serious, because you gotta deal with drug dealers, you gotta deal with prostitution, you gotta deal with all sorts of things on the train. So I was always, when I board the train, I stay in my own corner, and I go straight to JFK Airport, and then I deal with it. I was working at Wolfgang Puck. So I had to deal with the boss also as well. So, just going through all those type of problems, I keep saying to myself, Shane, you just got to keep working and keep your head down low and do what you need to do. And plus I had something that motivated me. Like, I gotta go to Taiwan. And before I go there, I have to go to take these classes in downtown Manhattan first. That I remember that. That's in Midtown. So I had to go to school to get this certificate first. I had a degree. I still I need to go get a certificate because it's teaching in a foreign country. So yeah, so all those things was coming down on me, but I still, had held my head up high and just kept doing what I need to do. So going through all that type of stuff, you got to talk to yourself. You got to motivate yourself, and that's pretty difficult because I really had so much people motivating me and talking to my ear. It's just, I don't know, maybe because I go through so much like bad experience in my life, so I know how to channel that negative energy into something that's positive. So it was easy sometimes, but sometimes it wasn't. But I made it through. So positive thinking, everyone, it's a bit of a challenge. So my advice for everyone out there, if you're going through some type of problem, um it's better to talk to someone that who cares about you, that can motivate you, and just listen to someone that inspires, like inspirational, to help you to keep you going, because when you have those um type of outlets to make you feel a little more better about yourself, you start to develop confidence. You gain more you get more energy from everybody else, so it helps you to keep going. And especially if you're a spiritual person, like say you're a Christian or whatever religion you're in, that usually just helps you to keep you going. And just having faith and just keep going as hard as you can, um it's a tough walk, but one step at a time. Don't try to take everything on it at once because you will cave in. Go as much as you can, like one foot forward, and just keep going and keep going. And that's how I'm able to make it through. And that's why I'm in Taiwan right now. So yeah, so positive thinking can really lead you in the direction that you want to go. Go beyond what you're thinking, to be honestly. So yeah. And yeah, that's my take on positive thinking.
Love
you
that.
know,
Love that.
um, it wasn't that it's I say it's not that easy in doing positive thinking, but it works out. I usually just sit down and I'm a Christian. I do believe in God. I do believe there's life after death. So I do pray. You know, I'm trying to be a good Christian, but I pray, and it calms me down, helps me to clear my mind and focus on a straight path instead of focusing on other things that's distracting me, causing a lot of noise. And so just calm myself down, say a little prayer, and I just focus on one thing and I keep going forward. Everything else, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it because you're taking too much on. Don't worry about it. Just take one little step at a time and you make it in the direction that you want to go. So yeah. So that's my take on positivity and positive thinking. I hope this helps out everyone out there that's watching this podcast right now. So yeah, I think that's about
Love
it.
that,
Yeah.
man. Yeah. So I think it's all too easy for us to. It's too easy for us to talk about. Oh, you have to think positive when you're in a bad situation. But until you're in that situation, you don't know how you're going to react to something. And
Mm,
it's the brain is designed to keep us safe. This is why we think negatively about things because we don't like unpredicted futures. The brain wants to predict everything so that it can keep you safe. I think it's called the amygdala part of the brain where it's the survival part and it
mm,
has to think negatively in order to scan if there's any threats coming to you. Because if you saw um, a tiger coming at you from the bushes, just walking down the street, it's fight or flight. You're gonna probably just run the other way. You're not gonna take on a tiger.
yeah, of
But
course.
anything that can destroy you, you're gonna run the other way because that is just the survival part of the brain. There's no overthinking that situation, and that's what we tend to do a lot. But because of all of this, these are intellectual fears mainly that we have in this day and age. We
Mm.
don't often walk outside of our caves or our hiding spots and look out for predators like our ancestors did. So we have intellectual fears nowadays, and that can lead to over stimulating your brain and overthinking negative situations that can stop you from taking action and stop you from doing anything in life. Like there's people that are scared to walk outside of their homes these days because of what they see on the news and what has happened with COVID and things like that.
Hmm.
There were people before that, but because we are now domesticated human beings rather than hunter gatherers,
Yeah.
we have mainly these intellectual fears because it's just the brain that wants to keep us safe. So, like I said, it's easy for us to say, yeah, you just have to fill your mind with positivity every time you're faced with a negative situation. It's reprogramming your mind and then trying to filter out as much bad as you can. So, if you pictured like this glass, for example, if it was filled with water, this is you as a baby. A small
Hmm.
glass is born pure, purified water in this glass, and then over years, bits of mud, dirt, dust, things get thrown into there because of our programming
Mm.
from childhood, and then that glass becomes dirty and murky and not nice to look at because that mind has been filled with negativity as we grow up. Don't do this, don't do that, dress like this, look like that, don't say this, don't say that. You know, there's many things. A child is reprimanded more than what they are praised growing up
Yeah.
in most cases. So as like me and you, we're going to go through that early childhood, early adult life development if we're not self-aware of all of these negative programmings that were put into us because of just this is just because how the Western society works. You know, we have to conform, dress appropriately, speak properly, and do things a certain way, and go to school and whatnot. So we come up with these programmings, and most of them are negative. But what we have to do is not try and replace the negative with the positive because that's too cliche. That's too hippy dippy. I think it's too easy to say that. So what we have to do is try and replace negative things that we see throughout each day with positive things. So if you did something and you call yourself stupid, you go, actually no, I'm not stupid. I've done this before. I've done that before. Um,
Mm.
I am clever. I just got that wrong. If you actually were conscious about the way you speak to yourself, you can understand why the negative feeling is all around you every single day. And that's what a lot of people go through. Some people are conscious and some people try to replace that negativity with positivity as much as they can. But I believe that it's not for us to just wake up one day and go, I'm a positive person and nothing negative is going to get to me.
Mm.
Um, we're on alert. We're just
Yeah.
that's just how humans are. We're constantly on alert, and we don't want to be killed or injured. This is why we have to think of negativity is a part of human life, and we cannot get away from that.
Of
We
course.
say that
Yeah.
life is unscripted, but we've learned things along the way to survive.
Yep.
This is where we've got to this point. So, my advice with negative to positive thinking is that when you're faced with a situation, ask yourself, am I safe right now? If I'm sat here and I can't figure out what I need to do with my work or a scenario, I've just had an argument with somebody I love and I'm upset. Things like this, if you can manage to bring your awareness to a situation and go, okay, I'm upset right now, I'm angry, but am I safe? I'm not going to die. Okay, that's good. That can actually bring you back down to homeostasis, into calm, you know? And like you
Mm.
said, going towards praying, being part of a religion, believing in God, believing in something out there that's going to bring you mindfulness, peace, calm. Everybody needs that in their lives. So great for people to have that side of religion. It's great for people to have breathing exercises and doing things that are going to bring out those good hormones within you to overcome that negativity. So it might take. I really think it's no, I don't think anybody, unless you're a monk who lives in the middle of a forest, who
Mm-hmm.
has no pollution to deal with and no job
Yeah.
and can eat what they want and do what they want every single day, then I don't think you're really going to have ultimate peace within your life. But for me, it comes down to picking and choosing your battles.
Mm.
Things you cannot react to everything in life, because I guarantee you, there's more negative out there than positive, because we have to stay alive, right? So that's just part of our human makeup. The point is to try and combat those things and try and replace those negatives with positives as much as you can,
Mm-hmm.
because it's hard to stay. You think about it, it's hard to stay 100% aware every 24 hours per day. We're
Yeah.
either thinking in the past or thinking into the future, thinking about things that went wrong, thinking about unpredicted futures to try and keep us alive and safe. So it's hard, but that's one thing that I would say is, if I could give humans a super ability, it would be self-awareness,
Yeah.
to be aware of how you're feeling and what's going on in that moment, because we blow things out of proportion a lot of the time, and that's a hard thing to kind of get people to understand, because when you're faced with being upset and angry and you're in a bad mood and your energy's bad, for someone like myself to come along and say snap out of it, you're just blowing things out of proportion. It's easy
Yeah.
for me to say that, and I'm not everybody. I don't experience everybody's problems, and I've had my problems. Other people have had different problems. I get that,
Yeah.
but what it really boils down to is the fact that negativity in itself exists to keep us alive, and we have to navigate that. It's just another roadblock that we have to overcome, and that's what life, to me, that's what life is about: is tests thrown your way to see if you deserve this thing that you're shooting for, or to see if you deserve to have a good life because you've overcome, as we spoke last week about adversity, to
Yeah.
get past these negative things,
Yeah.
to see if you deserve it. And then there will be small wins along the way. And that's what you have to be mindful about and aware about, is that you cannot overlook these small things that that are good, that happen for you in your life, and then focus so much on the bad things.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
what we tend to
Yeah.
do. We don't wake up with gratitude every single morning. Oh, I'm blessed to be alive. A lot of people wake up and think, oh, another day. That sets the tone in motion.
Yes, it
You wake
does.
up every morning and go, oh, I want to stay in bed. I want to snooze my alarm for 5 minutes. Like, already you're starting on a negative note. And then
Mm.
no wonder why you're reactive for the rest of the day. And that's what makes your life even harder.
Mm-hmm.
The more you focus on, the more you will get.
Yeah.
So that's what it comes down to. Like I said, positive and negative exist in all areas of life, whether in energy or in inanimate objects within ourselves. It is how it is. And bad, there wouldn't be any bad if there wasn't for any good, and vice versa. So
Mm.
we have to accept there is going to be negative things that are going to happen in life. But it's about overcoming those adversities, those setbacks, those negative moments. So yeah, like I said, the more you focus on, the more you'll get in life.
Yeah. I like what you I was thinking what you just like what you was saying that like you got to filter out all the bad things.
Yeah.
Talking about the cup. Um I think that people need to understand like you need to look on the bright side of everything. Like because we forgot about that. Like you got to look at the good things that happen, you know?
Mm,
So like if you're like so if you're like in a bad situation, for example, you said like okay, if you get up early in the morning, it's like, oh God, the alarm went off, and I gotta go to work, I gotta do this, I want to sleep or whatever it is, it's another day. But if you get up in the morning, you think like, okay, you know what? Yeah, it's another day. Yes, you're a little tired, but look at all the good things. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, you're alive today. Next one, you got a job. Number two, you're able to open up your eyes. You have food. You got shelter over your head and everything else. So you just gotta like count your blessings. You gotta look at that, count your blessings, because when we get like angry and overwhelmed, we don't really focus on that, so we just forget about all the positive things. Like something I was thinking today, and was the funny thing is I was talking to my sister who is still in the US, so we still talk, through Facebook. I was telling her that how did it go? Find peace in your suffering.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah,
Find peace in your suffering. That's something I have been doing. It's not it's a bit of a challenge, but if you like going through if you're like suffering through something, doesn't matter what it is, work or you're exercising, whatever you suffer, keep going through it. I'm pretty sure there's something positive. No, not pretty sure. 100% sure there is something positive in that suffering that you're going through. Okay? Like if you you go to work and your boss got angry at you for whatever in particular reason, right? Right?
yeah,
Rightfully so, you're probably going to get angry or whatever. But when you think about it, you know what? Hey, I'm here. I'm still working. I still got a job. I'm doing this, you know. I get my money. I can pay my bills. I can go home happy. I can buy food and whatever it is. So in that suffering, you find the peace. It makes you feel great. Um, like I came home here like yesterday. I was pretty busy. I had to pick up my kid. I have to wash dishes, wash clothes, and stuff like that. That was suffering. Okay, I'm tired. Okay, who wants to go through all of that? You know what I did? I took out my phone, went to YouTube, and played some of the old music that I used to listen to back in the past. Before you know it, I'm starting to feel excited. I'm feeling happy. I feel motivated. That
yeah,
work that I've been through doesn't feel like nothing. You see what I'm
yeah.
saying? So you just gotta like find like a way to make yourself feel happy and make yourself feel motivated.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's just like that. Life is about it's you just gotta count your blessings and understand like, hey, there's positivity in all your suffering, all the negativity, and all that type of stuff. So it makes me feel I'm a better because I walk to work. Okay, it's not that far away. I walk to work. Most people saying like, oh, why you don't take a bus, Shane, or why don't you call a cab or whatever it is. But here's the interesting thing: that early morning walks to go to work, it makes me feel great.
Yeah.
Okay, like I can focus. Oh God, I gotta walk this because the timing is so tight because I have to drop my kids off to school and I gotta go to work. You see what I'm saying? And
Hmm.
waiting on the bus and all, it's too much going on. Okay, so I was
Yeah.
like, you know what? I calculated the time and it's like, you know what? Let me just walk to work, man.
It's
I have my
peaceful.
I feel like I'm in my own little bubble as I'm walking straight to
Yeah.
work and I listen to something positive on YouTube, like Trent Sheldon, Les Brown, Simon Sinek. I listen to those guys. So yeah, I'm in my own little bubble, but everybody sees as negativity or whatever it is. Like when you take the bus or whatever it is, but I feel at peace in my suffering. So I feel good in what I'm doing.
Can
So
I
yeah,
just add? Can I just add to what you were
go
saying
ahead.
about finding the peace in the suffering? So to add to the theory of having the glass filled with dirt, imagine, this again. This is water from every baby is born. Every child is born perfect because there's no negativity inside of
Mm-hmm.
that head, no positivity at all. It's just, or even positivity. They're perfect. They're perfect
Pure.
form.
Yeah.
Yeah. And over time, that gets filled with dirt and yada yada yada. This water gets dirty over time, and that's our mindset. When people say you got to try and just think positive, think positive. You're just dropping little positive drops of like clean water in there. It's not going to
Mm-hmm.
filter out
It's
the
not.
dirt.
It's not. It's not.
No. So what you
No.
have to do is get a fire hose or garden hose or something and turn that bitch on, shove it
Mm-hmm.
inside, and you have to put it on full blast to get rid of the old programming, the old shit that doesn't serve you anymore. And you have
Mm-hmm.
to fill that again over time. You have to keep filling that glass, that cup of clean water again. And that's the job of a human being. We can
Yeah.
all reprogram ourselves. We can do it. One thing that I want to add as well is that for a lot of people out there that think negatively and they focus on the negative in their lives, I would just ask you, even if you're fully clothed or naked, walk
Mm-hmm.
up to a mirror in your safe spot in your bedroom in your living room, in your bedroom, and just see what comes to mind when you look at yourself. Because if you say bad words to yourself, I don't even want to say it, it just makes me feel bad. But if you say horrible things to yourself, that is what you're focusing on in life. Because
Yeah.
everything is like everything in life is like holding a mirror to yourself, especially when the bad happens. That's holding a mirror to show you where you are not free in your mind. Whether it's a small setback or a bump in the road or something big has happened, when you react to that and you think bad about that, that's just holding a mirror to your own life and then seeing the way that you see the world. So, like I said, I ask you to go to a mirror,
Mm.
stand there naked after a shower, and see what comes to mind. Can you tell yourself you love yourself and you're grateful to be in this body? Thank you, body, for putting up with all of the shit that I've given you over the years, and you're still here looking after my being.
Yeah.
Got to find new ways to add that positivity in. And like I said, those little drops of positivity are good, but it's not going to filter out the bad. You have to listen to good podcasts that are going to motivate you every day. You have to do an activity that makes you feel good. You have to replace some negative words that you think about yourself with three more positive things. It's
Yeah.
hard. It is really hard. But when you raise people like me and Shane, we've raised our self awareness around these types of
Mm.
things. And that's why we're understanding is that, oh, if I do think badly about myself, then I'm going to get more bad things. But if I do think more positively about myself, the universe has this way of rewarding people who put time and effort into themselves, and it will reward them with some form of blessing, whether it's small or big,
Yeah.
whenever. It's not a coincidence. It's just this is just how life is. So yeah, you've got to look at yourself in the mirror and see how you speak to yourself. And one other thing on top of that as well is that if you think for the first 5 seconds you look at yourself, especially naked in the mirror, which a lot of people can't do, but if you were to do that, and then within the first 5 seconds you've got a book full of negative things that you say about yourself, would you say half of those things to somebody you love?
Mm.
You know, would you say those horrible words to your mom, your brother, your young somebody you care so much about that you would die for them? And
Mm-hmm.
that's how, if you say no straight away, then that's how you've got to speak to yourself, is that you're in
Yeah.
charge of yourself. You love yourself. You're looking after yourself like you're looking after somebody you love.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's a good way because you would definitely treat that person like your mom or your father,
Exactly.
with great inspiration. You inspire them. You make them. You talk about good things about them or whatever, and they feel good about it.
Yeah.
So you need to talk to yourself like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm saying, of course, you're probably gonna have something negative. Of course, that's gonna happen or whatever it is. But the thing is, like I said, just keep thinking about look all the positive things you have did. If you put it on a scale, the good outweighs the bad.
Yeah.
So that's all, really it's all about. But sometimes it's a little tough. That's why that's everyone. You gotta be consistent. Saying these positive things about yourself and just put yourself in a positive space and atmosphere and don't listen to all that noise that's make you doubt yourself or whatever it is. Oh, you don't have money. You're gonna be poor. You don't have good clothes. I'm gonna look ugly or whatever it is. No,
I
just
just
empty
don't
that
have
all out.
those things. This is the thing as well. You have to be conscious and careful of the things that you hear throughout the day, the things you say to yourself. They
Yeah.
go into your subconscious programming. So if you say, I'm ugly, I'm never good enough, I don't have enough money, I'll never have
Mm.
enough, you're programming yourself to tell yourself already and your future self, I don't have those things and I never will. So one way to change that is not to pretend I am rich and all of the money in the universe is coming to me in all corners of the world.
Yeah.
You know that
Yeah.
that woo woo rubbish. That shit.
Yeah.
I don't have those things yet, but I'm gonna get them one day. I'm I'm not ugly, but I haven't worked on myself yet, and I
Yeah.
intend to. And then when you lose a bit of weight or you gain a bit of muscle, you're gonna feel better about yourself.
Hmm.
You're taking charge of yourself like you're taking charge of a newborn baby.
Yeah. So actually, you gotta
There's
care
one
yourself like that. To
That's one
be honest
thing
with
everybody
you.
cannot
Yeah.
hate on is a newborn baby. So
Mm,
because we haven't met them before, we don't know what they're going to be like. That baby is perfect, and we're going to look after that child and just try and stop as much negativity as you can in life. You
mm.
know, that's what it's about. Yeah,
Yeah. So yeah, yeah. I think that was a good talk on positive thinking. So that
definitely.
was really great. You know. So yeah, that was perfect. So you just heard on both of us. We are different, like different perspective of positive thinking. So I think that's great that
Yeah,
be able to share this information. I really would like everyone to just suck everything up that we just talk about in this podcast and just apply it to your life and just stay consistent. It's gonna be challenges, but stay consistent. Stay consistent. Say something positive to yourself all the time, and just
yeah,
go
every
with
day.
it. Yeah, it's every day. It's every day. Who wants to live a negative life every day? Nobody does. No
No.
one. So you gotta say something positive to yourself, even if it's one small little tiny thing.
Yeah.
Hey, just keep going. Yep. So
One thing to add on that positivity, if you forget, you just got to make something that you will see every single day, a small sticky note or a little calling card or something like that, you in your pocket, in your trousers you wear every single day, just something with you, even in the back of your phone or something with a nice note, something to just remind yourself to say something good about yourself through the day. That
mm,
is intention right there, because who out of 10 people, how many of those people are going to write on a bit of card, I love myself? It's
hardly
not.
anybody. Yeah.
Yeah,
Speak. Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
But if you're intentional with that, you will do it. So just quick reminder, you need to have something reminding you regularly you are enough, you are loved, and you're a great person. And
Mm,
just bringing that into your consciousness every single day rather than remembering that once every 2 weeks and then 3 weeks and then you forget.
yeah. Of course. So yeah.
Great
So
talk,
the
man.
Yeah, it was great talk. It was pretty good. I wish it could be a little more longer, but it's fine, man. It's totally all right. It's good. Yeah, it was a good talk. And yeah, I know it's like past the 40 minutes mark, but it's all right. You can cut this part out in your phone editing, so it's all right. So yeah, man, so it was pretty good.
Perfect.
Yeah.
All
So
right, man.
yeah,
Yeah,
man. I
good
know you got
talk.
around.